Dala! So welcome. In this episode of Things to Consider, I want to talk about alchemy. I've gotten a few questions about alchemy, what it is, how to get there, and people wanting to start their path on alchemy. So alchemy to me is the ability to transform and manipulate different things for an end, a desired end. So the most common example is the person transforming lead into gold, taking something of lesser value and making it something that's highly valuable or highly valued. Other example could be to take negative things that happen to you, transform them into something that's positive, something that's going to build you up. Those are the foundation of alchemy, that ability of being able to transform energy, whether it is a positive energy into negative energy or into neutral energy, or negative energy into positive energy or into neutral energy. Being able to decipher between different types of energy and manipulate them to the end desire that you like. Now, to me, a lot of people have said that they've been advised to start with alchemy. If you master alchemy, you will master a lot of the other system of belief, and you'll be able to navigate in many other system of belief. And I do agree with that with some point. When you understand alchemy and you understand your ability to master certain state of being, certain state of mind, you are able to then not get wrapped up into things, not get your emotion wrapped up into certain things, and to detach yourself, to take a step back and analyze things and manipulate things to have the end result that you want. And it's something, however, that takes a long time. Most people have triggers. They haven't dealt with the different triggers, and when you are dealing with alchemy and you have still many triggers, it's just gonna make things harder for you. From my perspective, I wouldn't advise somebody who's just starting to jump into alchemy, because I do think that in order for you to do alchemy, you first need to understand what is energy. And to understand and master both the light and the dark. Not master in the terms of everything and all that, but that you have a foundational understanding of what it is, and that you faced the fears or acknowledge the fears that you have either in the light or in the darkness. And that's really important, because I don't think you cannot transmute something that you're scared of, first of all. If you're scared of the dark, or you're scared of, shadow people or whatever it is, you're not going to be able to transmute that energy. When that energy is coming after you, you're probably going to run, or you're going to be paralyzed with fear. So that's what I say. First, you have to go back, and I will say start with understanding what energy is, not just from an intellectual level. And this is what comes in, that you have to experience. If somebody tells you that, everything around you is all energy, resonating, vibrating a different state of consciousness, you're not going to grasp what it is until you have an experience where, something that you find hard becomes, seems to be solid, no longer is. So it's going to be hard for you to kind of distinguish that. One of the other exercises that a lot of people who are not very sensitive to energy, some of you have been sensitive to certain energy since you were little, so it's very easy for you to understand when we're talking about energy being flowing all around us and being able to feel that. But a lot of people are not sensitive. And one easy way for somebody to just understand what energy is and how you can emit energy and how you can feel energy is just to take your two hands and you start just rubbing them together. And you rub them together and you just start feeling the heat coming into your hand. You feel the heat coming into your hand. And that, my friend, is already feeling energy. And then when you pull them apart, you feel the heat in between your hand. So that's a really simple example for you to start feeling energy. And you see, I'm already a little bit sweaty, and that's because I generate energy a lot. When I start doing Reiki, my hands are really like emit energy a lot, so it doesn't take for me a long time to be able to feel and transmit energy. I'm sorry. And if you melanated, the more melanated you are, the more easy it is for you to conduce energy. And those are just small exercises that you can do to just feel energy. And then you can do it, once you rub your hand, you can do it and touch your own hand. Just pass your hand really, really slowly against your hairs. Or have someone else do that, because you're going to be able to feel like the magnetic field between you and someone else, and the energy going through that. And some of the other, mundane examples are, when you try to open a car door and you get an electric shock, or sometimes when you meet certain people and you want to, shake their hand, you get, an electric shock. And so it really depends on your sensitivity to energy, but you need to take those baby steps first to see what is energy. How am I conducive to energy? How am I using energy? How is energy flowing through me? A lot of people, when you have the chakras, you take the chakras and you say, the root chakra, sacral chakra, all the way to 7, and yes, it's great. Or it's like little to visualize them, is like a little sphere that's always moving around. But concretely, if someone was to ask you to explain to them what is energies, what are energy centers, it would be very hard if you haven't experienced felt your root chakra or your solar plexus and felt them locking and unlocking, see the impact that it has concretely on your life as you deal with different issues in different chakras. So that's why experience comes into play. This is not something you're going to get by reading a book. Once you read the book, you put the book down, and now you apply that knowledge, and you see, is that knowledge bringing you truth, bringing you your truth or not? This is what it's thousands and thousands of books on chakra, on energy work, on you name it. There are thousands and thousands of them, because there may be just one that applies to you. Maybe none of them are going to apply to you. You're going to have to meditate and bring that information, activate that information within yourself. And that's very important, that you do not get distracted by the dogma of other people, because even though a lot of people are becoming a lot more spiritual, they are still having that mindset of dogma or wanting to tell other people what to do and how to do it. And that's why you really have, when you start in your path and you're not going to take, the path of being in a coven, or the path of following a guru, or the path of being in a sect or cult or whatever denomination you want to do, or initiation with a specific order, initiating with a specific priesthood, religion, or what have you, then you really have to experiment things for yourself and leave behind whatever is not working for you. And that's not something easy to do. It's really not. It may appear that way to some people, but it's really something that you have to work on. That as you go, of course, you're going to build your confidence. You're going to build your security. You're going to understand your own power. But at the beginning, you really, really need to have that kind of flexibility, first of all, to make sure that, if something is not working, it's not working. There's no need to force it. But at the same time, to build your foundation, so that you cannot be led astray one way or another, based on whoever is saying. So that's just something to consider. To consider the fact that alchemy is beautiful, and it is a necessary tool. I believe that everyone at some point has to come across alchemy, discover and use it for yourself. But I don't think it is the first tool you should jump into. I'll say except for a selected few, but most people, it's not a tool that I will recommend. And I know that some people will just say, jump into alchemy, because once you have alchemy, the world is different and everything. Yes. But even the people who are telling you that, they didn't start with alchemy. They've done a lot of other things that get them to the place where they're actually able to manipulate different things. And this is why I'm telling you to start with basics. Start with your own body, understanding the energy flowing through your own body, understanding your energetical field, understanding how you feel towards certain people or certain things, certain situations, certain places, certain locations. Once you master that, then you can have a better understanding of energy, and you start dealing with energy that's outside of you, energy that's around you, energies in the light and energy in the dark, and dealing with recognizing your fears, recognizing your triggers. So as you recognize them, you learn how to deal with them so that they don't paralyze you, they don't make you be fearful or step away or move away, so that you are able to move and act despite your fears. And that's really important. Once you master this too, I think then you're ready to go towards alchemy. But it may take you a long time. It may take you, few months for some, or a few years for others. And that's okay. There's no competition here. There's no finish line with a stop sign or anything like that. So you really have to go on your own pace and build your self-confidence as you go. That's the most important, so that you really trust your powers, you really trust your intuition, and you really trust your knowledge of self. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.